Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. Well, this is the day of the big Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which is always a great treat, and it's in the sign of Cancer, which is about home, family, our homeland, natural connections between us. It's a very healing sort of energy, and it is a great energy of abundance. And the whole day is permeated by this lovely, soft energy. I call this a kind of silk and satin sort of energy. It is just a very lovely, heart-oriented sort of energy. And you can spend a lot of money under this transit because it has to do with beauty in abundance. So that the diamond ring over there, it might look very good today, but it also, it could be a day where you just not spend a lot of money, but also just, pay a lot of bills too, or have bills come in. So we'll have to see how it goes. But the sun today is at 18, moving to 19 degrees of let's communicate and socialize and exercise our intellects. Air sign Gemini, and the moon early in the day moves into the, you guessed it, dynamic and impetuous fire sign of Aries. I'm always in the red here when the moon is in Aries. That occurs very early, 1:33 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 9:33 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and it makes a couple of really harmonious aspects before we even get to the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which makes this day pretty nice just overall. The moon makes a harmonious 60-degree sextile from 2 degrees of Aries to Uranus, the planet of sudden change and often chaos, but this is a nice harmonious energy. Uranus is sitting at 2 degrees of Gemini at 6:08 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 2:08 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. It's a good time to think out of the box or do something different first thing in the morning. And then the moon conjoins Neptune, the planet of dreams and visions, creativity and spirituality. On the lower end of things, it can also be illusion, delusion, and confusion. But the moon conjoining Neptune at 4 degrees of Aries promises a nice, calm, meditative sort of energy, even though Aries is get up and go. So this is very nice. This kind of moves us into, let's think about this and contemplate a little bit here. 9:05 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that's exact. 12:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 5:05 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And after that, just shortly after that, we have the moon at 5 degrees of Aries by this point, making a harmonious 60-degree sextile. A smooth 60-degree angle to Pluto, the planet of concentrated power at 5 degrees of Aries. It's retrograde, but this is still very nice and self-empowering. 10:56 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that's exact. 1:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 6:56 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then comes midday into the afternoon. Then comes the Venus-Jupiter conjunction at exactly 25 degrees, 42 minutes of the water sign of Cancer. And this is just supremely lovely sorts of energy. This is a win the lottery sort of energy when it comes to Cancerian issues, which are home, family, financial security, and a general sense of nurturance for yourself and the world. This is just really lovely energy, and it's in a feminine sign, which is appropriate with Venus. 12:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 3:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 8:59 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Think in terms of abundance today. This is just a really, really lovely energy. And then that continues for the rest of the day and into the nighttime. No other lunar aspects until very late night when there is a Mercury aspect. Mercury at 12 degrees of Cancer makes a hard square 90-degree angle to Saturn at 12 degrees of Aries. This isn't a lot of fun. This is a, well, maybe I spent too much money and I'll have to pull back kind of energy. It's a little bit more serious thought, but it occurs overnight. So, if you go to bed early, you won't have to worry about this. 10:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that's exact. 1:39 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 6:39 a.m. tomorrow Greenwich Mean Time. Overall, just a really, really lovely day. So, buy a lottery ticket. You can never tell, but think in terms of abundance for yourself and the world today, and harmony. That's what Venus ultimately is about, and it's expanded as it conjoins Jupiter. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, Star Presence. net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy today, no matter what.